Alright, once you've logged into your WordPress dashboard, you're going to see down the left hand side all of the different sections that you can go into. I'm going to start down here at the bottom and we're going to work our way up. I'm going to go in and teach you each and every one of these, but this is your dashboard panel right here on the back end of your website where you can make edits to your website. So starting off with settings, you're going to want to click General, and it's going to take you to this page here where you can type in a site title. So I'm going to call it 90-Day Nutrition. You can add a tagline. So if I wanted to say teaching the best nutrition tips, that could be my tagline. But for this case, I'm just going to leave it blank. And then you're going to see your WordPress URL here. You can leave that as is. You can put in an email address that you want the WordPress to send emails to. Like if you have a new person who subscribes to your blog or website, it'll notify you. You can set new user roles, so if somebody joins your blog, they would become a subscriber. But if you want to add people to your WordPress, you can add authors, editors, and admins. You currently are an admin. That's the highest level position, meaning you get control to the entire website, but you can set, lower level positions to give people restricted or limited access to the back end of your website so that they can get in there and do specific tasks but not have complete control over your website. You also want to set your time zone. So I'm going to go ahead and set mine to Indianapolis time because this is what I know is Eastern. And I'll go ahead and I guess put in a tagline before. So, teaching smart nutrition tips. So I'll go ahead and edit that later if I don't like it, but we'll start with that. Date format, leave it as is, July 20th, 2016. Time format, can leave that as is. Week starts on Monday. Site language, you can set the language you want your site. And then you can go ahead and leave all this and just click Save Changes. And then as soon as this saves, we're going to move on to the next tab, which is the Writing tab. Alright, once you've saved changes, you're going to want to go here to the Writing tab, and it's going to look like this page here. So you're going to have default post category. So if you want to set a category for every blog post you write to automatically default to, you can enter a category here, and that way if you want specific posts always to go under health or nutrition, I can have that set up. Otherwise, you're going to have to manually tag the different categories you want a blog post to fall under. I've never really used this feature. It's just one that you can set up if you want. Then you've got post via email. So if you want to write blog posts via email and send them to your website to publish, you can set up that here. But basically, there's not really much else to do here in the Writing tab. It's just two optional things I've never used, but you may find them useful and decide to use them. Next, you want to go to the Reading section. So this is how you show your blog. So if you want your blog post to be on the front page, you can set that here, your latest posts. Or if you want to give it a static page, meaning you want a home page that doesn't have the blog on it, it can just be, like my home page where I had my email and a photo of me. Then you can click a static page and you can choose what page you want as your front page, and then you can choose what page is going to be your blog page. So typically you might create a page called blog, and you would find that here and click blog, and then people could go to that page if they want to read your articles. You can set how many blog pages that you want, or how many posts that you want to show on the blog page, so you can set that number here. It's the default's at 10, and I'm just going to leave that as is. And you can have your blog show a summary or full text. And search engine visibility, discourage search engines from indexing this site. You want to uncheck that. That way search engines can find your website and index your web pages into their index. That way you basically refer people to your website, which is what you want. You want traffic. Next, you can go into the discussion part of the settings, and you can read through all these different features and check and uncheck the ones that you want. But it just has to do with discussion. So this is people commenting on your blog. You can set up different rules that you want to allow for comments. That way you can choose whether you want to manually approve comments or not. and you can make them be a WordPress user in order for them to be able to leave a comment. So you can go ahead and read through this on your own time, and then scroll through all these settings, and you can have an avatar so that when somebody joins as a WordPress member, they can get a default avatar. So go ahead and hit Save Changes there. And then next we're going to go into the media settings. So this has to do with images. You can set the different sizes. So when you go to upload an image, it's going to ask you whether you want it uploaded as a thumbnail, medium, or large, or it'll have like the original size if you want to just keep it as is, the original size. But you can go ahead and specify the different measurements for these preset ones, so that if you want to set it to medium, you know, I might set it at 600 by 600. So then anytime I upload an image that's bigger than 600 by 600 that I want to scale down, I can go ahead and click medium, and it'll automatically adjust my photo for me down to 600 by 600. And this is in pixels. Usually for an image you want on a website, you want it to be pretty big. You want it to be large, you know, above 1,000 pixels. That way, when it shows up on your website full screen, if it's smaller than 1,000, it'll look all blurry. So usually images that have more than 1,000 pixels will come out crystal clear when you put them on your website. Next, go into Permalink Settings. This is going to be the links that show up after, you know, up here in the domain. So you'd have like your website domain / and then it could be the title of your blog post. So that's the one I choose, post name. So you can see here www.90daynutrition.com /sample post. That's just the best one to go with. And click Save Changes. So that's it for the settings. You go through those 6 different sections there. The main ones you got to go into is general, reading, and permalinks. Those are the main 3 you'll want to set up, but you can also check out writing, discussion, and media if there's anything you want to change in those. Tools, there's nothing really to do here right now. This is for if you want to import and export things to your blog, like if you've got articles or WordPress files that you want to import or export, but I've never had to use that, so you can just ignore this. But there are going to be some plugins that you download that are tool plugins that will sometimes show up here under tools, and then other times they will show up under settings right here. So right now under settings you just have these main 6 things, but as you download these plugins, which we're going to get to in a minute, they'll either show up under settings or they'll show up under tools. So just keep that in mind. If you download a plugin and you're like, where did it go? I don't see it under settings. It could be under tools, so you can come over here and you'll see it somewhere under the tools. Next you'll go to users, and this is basically the tab where you're going to pick a color scheme for your dashboard. I'm not going to go into it because there's personal sensitive information such as my login information, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you right now. So the color scheme, you can see right now the color scheme is kind of like a black bar, and then it's got the blue highlight. So there's just different color schemes if you want to change it up to where it's green or orange. Then you're going to want to add your name, so you're going to want to put your first and last name. You can give a nickname, and you're going to add an author bio, so you're going to write a biography for your author, so that when people get done reading your articles, it's going to show your name and your bio underneath the article so they can learn more about you. So as you can see up here, it says Howdy Nick Foy in the corner. So I've already changed my name so that it shows up as Nick Foy underneath my blog post, and I'll show you my author bio in a little bit when we get to the blog post section. So that's tools and users. Next, we're going to want to go to plugins. So this is basically a bunch of different add-on features you can add to your website so that it allows it to do different cool things. So you're going to want to go here to add new, to add a new plugin, or if you're ever trying to find ones you've already installed, you just hit installed plugins. So I'm going to go ahead and click add new, and I'm going to show you several different plugins right now that you're going to want to start off with. So the first one is Yoast SEO. You can just type in Yoast or Yoast SEO. It should bring it up no matter what. And you're going to see it here with the little traffic light looking thing, and it's going to say Yoast SEO by Team Yoast. And you can see it's got 1 million installs, so it's a very popular plugin. And you're going to want to click install now. I always open it up to a new tab so that I can have multiple plugins. I can keep searching plugins while that one's installing. So basically what Yoast SEO is it's when you write a blog post it's going to grade your blog post essentially, and it's either going to light it up as red, orange, or green. If it's green, it means it's good to go. You've passed the SEO. If not, you're going to need to make tweaks until it passes green if you want it to show up in the search engine results. So that's what SEO is, search engine optimization. So it's basically a plugin that gives you a checklist of things you need to do to your blog post to make it ready for the Google searches, so that Google will find your blog post and it'll send traffic to your website, which is ideally what you want when you have a website. The more traffic you get to your website, the more people that you're going to have the opportunity to show your content, show your products and services to. So this is a cool plugin that we're going to get into a little bit more later when we get into the blog post stuff. I'll show you when I go to write a blog post what it looks like before I publish. So that's Yoast SEO. The next one you're going to want is called W3 Total Catch. And basically what this is it's a speed performance plugin that helps speed up your website so that your pages load faster. It catches your browser, your pages, and all kinds of different databases and files on your website so that your web pages load a lot quicker. If you have a slow website that takes forever to load, your visitors aren't going to usually stick around. They're going to exit out of your website and they likely will not come back because they had a bad experience with website speed. So I'm going to go ahead and click install now on that one as well. And you can come here, I'll show you what it looks like. You're going to need to activate plugin. It'll tell you that it's downloading, unpacking, installing, successful. Once it's successful, if you want to activate it, you can go ahead and activate, and it'll just take you to the installed plugins page after that. So here it is. Now you're in all of the different plugins you have on your website. So starting out, they give you a couple different ones automatically, but now you can see the two that we've downloaded here. So I'll go ahead and exit out of those. Alright, let's go on to the third. It's called Wordfence Security. So this plugin basically brings protection to your website from hackers. It'll basically notify you when people are trying to log into your website, and if somebody fails to log into your website a certain amount of times, it will block them completely from having any access to your website. That way people in other countries that are trying to hack your website, they'll get denied access. And it'll also give you their IP address location so you can see what city and country they're coming from in case you're curious, where these hackers are coming from. There's also several other features you can learn more about in a separate video on this plugin, but I'm just telling you right now, you're going to want to download this to give your website security, so that you don't put in all this hard work building a website and then it gets hacked. You're also going to want this plugin called Coming Soon CC. So when you're first starting out and your website's not ready to be live or launched yet, you're going to want to build a Coming Soon page so that people coming to your website from social media or from Google or wherever they're coming from, they're going to see a Coming Soon page that lets them know, hey, my website's not live yet, it's launching soon. It'll give you can put a date that your website's launching so you can make people aware, and it's got an email opt-in form that will allow you to capture somebody's email address so that you can notify the people that entered their email when your website launches. So it's a way to build your email list ahead of time before you launch your website. That way you have an audience by the time you're ready to launch your website that you can send out information to and start getting readers on your blog or website. Alright, the next set of plugins we're going to get into are the different link related plugins. So first we're going to want Broken Link Checker, and it's a plugin that basically scans your website and it'll find any broken URL links and it'll notify you so that you can go to those web pages or blog articles and fix the link. That way if people go to click that link, they won't be taken to an error page if the link's broken, so you can go find the broken links and fix them. That way they'll work properly when people click them. The second link related plugin we're going to add is called Pretty Link Light, and basically this allows you to create clean extensions to your URL. So what that means is if you look up here, you'll see this ugly URL right now, www.90daynutrition.com/wp-admin/plugin-install.php. So you see all this extra stuff here after the extension / mark. It's going to basically allow you to clean up the link so that I could type 90daynutrition.com/workout You can, and then it'll still take them to the URL so you're going to enter the URL you want them to be taken to, and then you're going to add in your own custom URL so that anytime they type in that custom URL, it'll still redirect them to the URL that you want them to go to, but it's a lot cleaner link to remember. If you're trying to tell somebody a specific link to go to, it'll make it easy to remember when you have a clean link. So that's what Pretty Link Lite does. And the third plugin that relates to URL links is called Velvet Blues Update. We'll go ahead and try that and see if it pulls it up. Basically, anytime you've got a URL that is old that you need to update, you can change it. So if I used to send people to, my social media, my Facebook page, and my Facebook URL was, facebook.com/90daynutrition. Well, let's say that I changed my Facebook page URL and now it's www.facebook.com/90dayworkouts instead of 90daynutrition. Then all the different places I link to my Facebook page on my website, that would take forever to go through and update all those links. So this is a simple plugin that allows you to enter the link, the old link, and it'll allow you to enter the new link, and it'll go through and update all the old links for you so that it resets them to the new link so that you don't have to manually go do it one by one. And then finally, we're going to get to some plugins related to social media and email. So first we'll start with social media. So you're going to want to type in NextScripts social Autopost, and basically this allows you, got an error here, this one allows you to anytime you publish a new blog post, it'll automatically post it to your social media accounts. That way you don't have to worry about manually going and submitting the URL to your social media sites. It'll do it for you, so it's a quick automated step that saves you some time. And then the other social media one is called Mass Share Buttons, and basically on your blog post, these are going to be social share buttons that you can put at the top or bottom of your blog post so that people that read your article, if they liked it, they'll go ahead and click share, and they'll see these big Facebook and Twitter buttons that they can simply click, and it'll open up their Facebook or Twitter page for them to share your article. So it's a good way to get your article shared out there so that you get a social media credibility in the eyes of Google, and that'll help get more traffic to your website when people are sharing your articles, and it looks good to Google. So then Google will rank your website higher in the search engines. So those are the two social medias. One is a share button that helps share your articles, and the other automatically posts your articles to your social media account so that it saves you a step and saves you some time. Lastly, we're going to go into the email related plugins. So you're going to want Hello Bar, and you're going to need to first make a Hello Bar account by going to hellobar.com, and you're going to be able to create different bars and pop-ups for your website. So Hello Bar is basically a bar you can put at the top of your website, and I'll show you an example real quick on one of my websites of what Hello Bar would look like. So here on my website, golfpracticeguides.com, you can see I've created this bar up here at the top, alerting them of my new ebook, that they can click the link here and it'll take them to it, and you can see the little Hello Bar logo here. So this is one option they give you. You can put a bar up here at the top of your web page. You can also have pop-ups that take over the full screen or that slide in down here in the corner. You can decide which type of pop-up or a way of getting the attention of your reader. You can decide that on your own time and set that up, but I personally chose to go with the one where it puts a bar at the top. So going back here, you're going to want to install that. Now that's going to help. Basically, you can set up one that collects email addresses, so it'll have, mine happen to be a button that they can click and it takes them to a product I'm promoting, but you can also pick one where it's got an email form, and then you can collect email addresses to build your email list, and then you'll be able to send out emails to your email list marketing your product or services to your email list. So that's the next step. You want to get an email marketing company that will manage your email campaigns for you, and I highly recommend ConvertKit. So what you're going to want to do is open up a new tab here and type in asknickfoy.com/ConvertKit, and that's going to take you to ConvertKit, which is the email marketing service provider I use to run my email campaigns and build my email list, and they're absolutely incredible. So you type that in and you can go ahead and create an account here. It's really quick to set one up, and there's a whole nother tutorial on how to use and set up ConvertKit you can check out at another time. But once you've downloaded and set up your account with ConvertKit, you're going to need to get the plugin in order to integrate it into your website. So type in ConvertKit, and you're going to be able to see the plugin that goes with it, so that now you can connect your account to your WordPress website, and you can set up forms on your website to capture people's emails. And then when they enter their email, it'll take it from your WordPress website and it'll put the email address over in your ConvertKit account, so that you can start building an email list in your ConvertKit account. And then ConvertKit has a feature where you can send automated email newsletters. So anytime somebody types in their email address on your WordPress site and they hit submit, it'll automatically add them to your email list, and then it'll automatically subscribe them to your newsletter, and you can automatically have emails sent out to them saying, you know, welcome to my newsletter. And then you can set up a series of emails that send out every so many days, so that they keep getting contacts from you, and you can build rapport with them and build trust and credibility. And then eventually in your email newsletter, you can pitch them your product or service and hopefully get a customer. And the final plugin that we are going to do today is called Opt-in Monster. And this also goes with the emails. It creates cool custom email forms, email opt-in forms. So when you sign up for your ConvertKit account, they're going to have a very basic opt-in form you can put on your website. But if you want full customization, I recommend getting Opt-in Monster. They allow you to create a bunch of cool looking forms, and I've got a tutorial showing you. Basically, it's a review or tutorial of Opt-in Monster, so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You can watch me build a form and see the forms I've already built to see all the different features Opt-in Monster allows you to have. So combined, these three plugins are going to be very important for you to build your WordPress website, especially your email list. The whole goal with online marketing and online business is building an email list, because then you're going to get to market to your email list and keep people coming back to your blog. If you don't capture their email address, you may never see them back on your website. But by keeping them in your email list, you're going to have people to publish your most recent blog posts to. So I'm just going through real quick and activating all these plugins that I downloaded. So now I can go ahead and exit out of all this because I've already downloaded all these. Alright, one more. So those are all the different plugins we've installed. And like I said, you can go here to plugins under installed plugins, and it will take you to show you all the different ones you've got installed. So I'll go ahead and edit out of that. And this, I'm going to go ahead and try to get out of this if I can. Remind me later, close. Okay, so now here we are. All the different plugins we've now downloaded are shown up here, and you can click activate if there's any that aren't activated, or you can deactivate ones that you don't want to be activated anymore. You can go into the settings sometimes of them. Other times you're going to have to go over here, as I mentioned, and you'll see the different plugins now on your WordPress dashboard. Either they'll show up here with their own clickable thing, or you can go under settings and you're going to find some under your settings or under tools, as I mentioned. So here under tools, you'll find the 2 URL plugins. Settings, you'll see some of the other plugins we've downloaded, and then all the rest of them will show up here. So that's the 3 locations that you can look for these plugin settings, so that you can go in and actually set up the plugins. Once you've downloaded them, you're going to need to go in and actually customize the different features that they have. So that'll be separate videos. I go into each of those plugins with its own tutorial video you can check out as well outside of this video. So that wraps up the plugin section. We've now downloaded plugins. I've shown you how to edit all your settings, and I've shown you how to edit your user settings as well as tools. So I'm working our way back up here. We've got appearance. This will be the next step in the website building process. So when you get your settings all figured out, and you've downloaded all your different plugins, you're going to want to now pick a theme for your website, which is basically how your website will look. It's the design factor of your website. So click themes, And you're going to see a bunch of different free themes that you can start off with that WordPress will provide you by going here to add new theme. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of these different, there'll be little notifications up here now that you've downloaded plugins that'll get kind of annoying, so you're going to need to click these different ones to get rid of them. So dismiss, hide this message, and this one doesn't look like I'm going to be able to exit out of it, but I like to clean this up so that it gets rid of them. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and start moving on to add new theme. It already comes with these different basic WordPress themes, but I particularly don't care for the design, so I'll go to add new theme, and there's going to be featured themes, popular themes, the latest themes, favorites, premium, or you can search themes yourself. So you can look through here, browse all these different themes. You kind of get to see a preview of what it would look like on your website. So here's a store theme. If you're using your website as an e-commerce website, you can kind of see the layout of the different products. But personally, I recommend using a professional theme, a premium theme that you have to pay money for, because they're not very expensive and they give you so many more customizable features. Free themes are very limited. You know, you're restricted to basic features that oftentimes your theme won't even look like it does in the picture. I mean, these are people that have already set up a website using the theme. So a lot of times these pictures are misleading. Once you install it, your website still looks like crap and it looks nothing like the photo. And it's hard to get it to look like the photo because then they want you to upgrade to premium. So the best thing to do is just start off with a premium theme in general. So to do that, you're going to need to go here to a new tab, type in asknickfoy.com/theme forest, Forest, and that's going to take you to a website I use to find professional premium themes called themeforest.net. And you're going to be able to come up here and type in a specific theme you're looking for, or you can come here under the WordPress tab and see all the popular themes or specific categories. So if you want like a blog magazine type theme, if you're a corporate website, if you're an e-commerce website, it'll try to give you different themes related to the topic or niche that your website's in. So I've got 4 for you today that I'm going to recommend if you want to start off looking at these 4. The first one is right here. It's called Hooray. It's a premium WordPress theme. It's only $49. You pay one time $49 and you've got the theme is yours. So it's not like a recurring theme. That's what I'm saying. These premium themes, very inexpensive. It's only $49 and it's going to make your website look that much more professional than if you were to use a free theme that WordPress gives you. So to do a preview, you can click live preview and they'll open up a quick preview of what it'll look like, and you can go through all the different features. So basically you've got a logo or header here, you've got the menu bar here that shows you what your menu might look like, and then here would be like your home page. So you'd have different categories of blog posts that could show up here if you want, and then it might be an article here, articles, so this would be all your articles, and then you've got, you know, a sidebar over here where you've got an about me picture. Your most popular blog post would be here, and then there might be, you know, your social media stuff where you can show how many followers you have so that people can click on these to get taken to your social media accounts and they can connect with you on social media. And then it'll also navigate between popular and recent blog posts so that people can search your most popular blog posts. So this is the first theme. It's called Hooray. You can dig around it, check it out more. It's basically, I would say this is more like a blog type theme. If your website's gonna be mostly focused on writing great articles and blog, it's kind of got the magazine format for all your different blog posts. So that's what that one would be used for. Next, we've got the Aveda theme. This is actually the very first theme I bought and used for all of my websites until recently I started buying another theme. I actually bought Hooray for one of my most recent websites, but Aveda is what I run golf practice guides on. So this is kind of how I designed it on my own. So I've got like a blog down there. I've got a little bar here where they can subscribe to my email list, and then this part here is like an opening where they can click the button and get taken to a section that starts helping them with their golf game. And then I've got my menu. So it's really customizable. Aveda's got a simple to use it's like a drag and drop builder where you can drag different pieces around of how you want to lay out your website. You can drag the blog, you can drag, your sidebar, all kinds of cool stuff. They've also got pre-designed themes for you, or templates, so that you can simply just download a website template if you don't have that much experience with design or don't think you're going to be good at it. Then you would just use, like a demo. So click demo list here and see if it shows all the different options, or I guess this little thing here, it'll give you different ones. So if you want to start with, let's pick Aveda Gym. This will be our template. So basically it'll open up a theme that they've already built for you. So this would be the template that your website would look like. You would download, and then this is how your website would look, and you'd have to go in and give it a new logo and change the text, change the menu. You can change everything, but basically this is what it would look like. It's got testimonials, got different images here. You can view the facilities. It's got a quote. You can put about, so if there's different you and your partner, or if it's just you can put an about section here. So you're gonna have to go through all the different templates if you want to use a pre-designed template. Otherwise, you can install this theme and set up your own website design yourself by using their drag and drop builder called Fusion Core. So that's Aveda. The next one is called Newspaper, and it's basically a blog magazine type theme if you're running a blog based website, and it looks really fancy when you've got all these different articles that people can look at on the home page. So they've got all these different templates you can choose from to start out. So we'll go ahead and click this one to view it. So here we go. You'd have a couple blog posts up here, and then it'd be 3 columns of blog posts, and then you'd have your social share information over here, and then you could probably choose a category like sports, so there's some different sports culture. So these are all different posts, and then it breaks it down into more posts. It shows popular categories, recent comments. You can customize all this stuff, but this would be the template starting out. So as you can tell, it's like a magazine style website. So that's Newspaper if you're trying to run like a blog magazine type website. And then finally we've got FlatSum. So if you're running an e-commerce store, then FlatSum might be for you. It's basically for storefront integration. So if you're using WooCommerce as your store software, then this would integrate well. So you've got a home page, shop, and then it shows like a login and cart over here in the menu. And then obviously this is a template again that you could start off with and customize the way you want it to look, but you can shop men, shop women. It's got a slider here so that you can navigate between different photos or products. And then it gets down into actual products here so they can click on different products and view them. You can browse by category. So it's basically a theme for people that are running stores so that you can customize it based on how you want your storefront to look and add all your different products into the store-based software. So those are the 4 themes I recommend. You've got Hooray, which is kind of like a blog general website theme. Aveda is more for like a corporate professional looking website, and they've got a bunch of different templates. And then FlatSum is your e-commerce based theme, and then News Magazine is like a blog or magazine style website. So those are the 4 I would check out. Go to asknickfoy.com/themeforest to check those different themes out. So once you've decided on your theme, you can begin customizing it and get your website to look, pretty cool. So here, for example, on my asknickfoy.com, I designed the menu bar up here. I put in the logo, and then as you saw on my home page, I put a picture and an email opt-in section. And I think I just recently changed it so that it now has my blog on my home page as well. So I've got my photo here and the email section, and then my blog, so you can see different blog posts here. I teach, what is web hosting, so that's where I walk them through Bluehost, and then I teach them what a domain name is, and what WordPress is and what a landing page is. So you're going to find all kinds of different content on my website about building a website. A lot of that we've already covered today in this tutorial, but I've actually written blog posts on that on my website. Alright, so you've got your theme chosen. Next, under appearance is the, go ahead and exit out of this one. Next, under appearance, we want to go to widgets. So if your website has a sidebar, that's going to be basically that sidebar we showed you earlier where you could show recent posts, most popular posts. You had like an about me picture. It basically runs down the side of your web page right here, and then the remainder of your web page, the left portion, is your blog post. So you can customize what elements you want to be in your sidebar here. So right now automatically it's got a search bar, recent posts, recent comments, archives, category. To drag and remove it, you just move it left and it gets rid of it. So I'll keep categories. This would be like different blog article categories. So if you have fitness, workouts, nutrition tips, recipes, those would be like 4 different categories that would show. People can search blog posts based on category. Archives shows you what posts you've published each month. So if people want to go back to a specific month or to the beginning of time and start with your first blog post, they can do that through archives. Recent comments, recent posts. So you can go ahead and basically choose different things from over here to drag and build your sidebar with. You can also download different plugins that are specific to the sidebar. If you want to add things that aren't here, that aren't already preset, you can go ahead and find them by just adding a new plugin. So that's widgets, and then menu. We want to set up a menu, but we're going to come back to that because first we need to create web pages before we can create our menu. So that's going to be the next step to this WordPress website tutorial. You want to create some different pages, so you come here to pages and click add new. Before I get into that real quick, I'm going to make a comment on comments. Comments, basically, that's people that want to comment on your articles. So after you write a blog post, the goal is to get discussion going so that you can get a community sense, a community-based feel. You want people to be able to comment their thoughts on your article, and then you respond to them and kind of build rapport and credibility with your audience, keep them engaged. So comments, that's going to be where you can approve comments, you can delete comments, or you can send them to spam. Alright, moving on to pages, click add new. Now there's basically 4 or 5 types of pages you want to create for your website, and then it's up to you how you want to set up your menu, which we're going to get to shortly as well. So the first one, you're going to enter the title here. You want a home page that people can click on that takes them back to the home page of your website, and you're just simply going to type in the name of the page and click publish. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up a few more here so that we can get those going. As soon as this gets done publishing, I'll go ahead and walk you through a little bit more of the page feature. Alright, so here you can see view page if you want to check out what it would look like after you've added stuff to it. Permalink, this will show you what the link is. So right now it's www.90daynutrition.com/home, and you can edit that. So if you don't want it to say home or you want it to say something else, you can go ahead and edit that here. That way you can keep this title bar up here for a reference for yourself, but if you don't want that to show up in the URL, you can go ahead and make your own custom title up here and then customize the URL, what it shows up as down here. But for web pages, you generally want to keep the links pretty simple and short so that they're easy to remember if you're trying to tell people to go to them. So, 90daynutrition.com would be your home page. 90daynutrition.com/about could take them to the about page. 90daynutrition.com/start here could take them to like a start here page where you kind of introduce them to some of the features of your website. So web pages you want to keep pretty short. Blog articles, typically that'll just be the title of the blog article and that'll be kind of long, and you can leave it or you can shorten it down to a couple words if you want. But typically, since you're going to be writing a lot of blog articles, it's easiest just to leave them as is, the title. Otherwise, you might end up having duplicate links at some point. If you write on the same blog article topics and you shorten the links down, you might end up having the same short link. for multiple articles, and that could cause problems. So web pages, there's permalink there. You can add media here. This is where you're going to be able to add pictures and images to your web page. And this is the content box down here where you can type different text. So if you want to, customize the home page there. Once you've got your theme downloaded, usually there's going to be a little button right here, kind of above the media button. There'll be a button here that says like Page Builder, or if you have the Aveda theme, it'll say like Fusion Builder. And you click that, and that'll open up like all the different like drag and drop boxes. So you can basically add, customize the layout of your web page. You can add images, like an image box. You can add a quote box. You can add separator boxes. It'll be a bunch of different stuff. It's kind of hard to explain right now without actually showing you on one of my other websites. So here's where you would just, type out all of your stuff. You might have a header here, and then you might get into some intro paragraph, and then you might add an image here. You might add a link. So to add a link, you can highlight this and click here to link, and it'll let you insert, a URL. If you're trying to link out to a new page, here where it says image, you would just like leave a space here, and then you could click add media, and it'll open up for you to upload a file, and click insert right here, this insert button. That'll put a picture into your page. You can have a paragraph of text here, and then your header, you can highlight that. And let's see if toolbar toggles here. There it is. So you click toolbar toggle, and that's going to drop down this toolbar here. So when you highlight this header, right now all of your text is just in like paragraph format. You can go ahead and click heading 1, and it'll make it bigger. So if you want to add like headings to divide up your page so that you have different sections, kind of keep it organized and easy to read, you can give certain sections header text. So heading 1's the biggest, heading 2 gets smaller, and then it gets smaller after that. So that's kind of understanding a web page at the basic level. You can play around with it here, and you could preview changes here. If you don't want to hit update yet, you can preview it first, because once you hit update, it saves it. And then you're going to be able to check your SEO right here, which we haven't set up the plugin yet, but once you've set up the SEO plugin, it'll tell you how your web page looks according to the SEO checklist that we talked about earlier. So next, the other type of page, as I mentioned, you want a home page, you might want an about page. So we'll go ahead and click publish. You might want a start here page, and publish. And I might want one, in my case, called meal plans, so that I can have a page dedicated to different meal plans, since my website's based on 90-day nutrition. So you can decide what basic web pages you want. Once you've completed all those, I'll go ahead and leave. I don't want to save those changes. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of these. I've created my 4 different web pages. We created the sidebar. Alright, so now you're going to want to go under Appearance and click Menus, and it's going to take you to how to set up the page to set up a menu. So you're going to want to click Create New Menu, and it's going to bring you here where you can click, you can enter a name for your menu. So I'm going to call this My First Menu. Hit Create Menu, and now you're going to be able to start adding web pages that you want to show up in your menu bar. So while that's finishing loading, as you can see here, this is called the menu bar. So you can see I've got a home page, an about page, my Start an Online Business step-by-step guide here, my resources, and my blog. So those are the 5 web pages that I wanted people to find easily, so I put them in the menu. So coming back here, you're going to see all the different pages you have on your website over here, and you're going to be able to select the ones you want for your menu. So I'm going to select the About page, the Start Here page, and the Meal Plans. I'm not going to select the home page because if you remember, that had the weird URL where it said www.90daynutrition.com/home, but I want my home page just to be 90daynutrition.com. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So these 3 pages, I'm going to go ahead and click Add to Menu. And it's going to bring them over here where you can order them. So I might want my About page first, my Start Here page second, Meal Plans to show up third, and then now I want my home page to be the first thing. So In order to get your home page, you can do a custom link. So come here and just type in your website name, so 90daynutrition.com, and then what you want the link to say. So I want it to say home. Click add to menu, and that's going to put in any custom link that you want in your menu. And I can drag it up to the top so that it shows up first. So that's my menu here. You want that to be the primary menu, and then sometimes it'll say like top menu. If your website has multiple menus, it'll be like a top menu at the very top. Then you might have like your logo, and then it might be your secondary menu. But primary menu, in my case, this is what I'm going to check mark, and that'll actually make your menu show up. If you don't check this, your menu won't show up, and you're going to be wondering where it's at. So make sure to come down here to menu settings and check the right menu. So click save, and then we're going to go ahead and check it out and see what it looks like. So anytime you want to go look at your website, a quick way to do it is just to come here, and you can click visit site, or you can just click and it'll do the same thing. So we'll open it up. So now you can see my menu, home, about, start here, and meal plans, and this is the basic 2015 or 2016 WordPress theme that my website started out with. But I'm going to go ahead and add a theme that I purchased in a little bit. Alright, so that's menus, and that concludes the appearance tab. We've done pages, we've done comments. Media, this is basically where all your images get stored. So after you upload images to your blog posts and your pages, you're going to have your library of images here. If you ever need to go in and upload more or delete them or resize them, you can do that here. Here's where you'd upload them by clicking add new. Posts, this is where you're going to write blog posts. So let's go ahead and click add new. You've also got categories and tags here. So if you want to create categories to customize and organize your blog posts, you can do that there, or tags, you can create tags. So let's start off by writing a blog post. So it's going to look a lot like a web page, because a blog post and a web page are pretty similar. It's just a blog post goes onto your blog page, and a web page is kind of its own page separate of your blog. So that's the only difference really, but you're going to see the same layout. You're going to be able to enter, my blog post title here, and then you can start typing your blog post. So hello, welcome to 90daynutrition.com, and you could say something like, this website will be for providing you the best nutrition tips I've mastered. I don't know. So you can start writing your blog post. And you can enter links again, as we showed you. You can click insert link if you want to link out to an article you found online, or if you want to link to another article you've written on your website, or another web page on your website. So if I wanted to say, check out my about page, you could come here, highlight about page, click insert. You could start typing the word about, and it'll look for that, and it'll find that page for you. So there it is, about page. Click it. Click apply, and voila, now you've got a link here. So we can go ahead and hit publish. If you're ready to publish your blog post, when you're done, you'll have your SEO thing here again that shows you your score. It'll be red, yellow, or green, or red, orange, or green, the different color scheme there. So you can see how far along your blog post is for being optimized for search engines so that it shows up in Google. Format, I've never messed with this. I always leave it standard, but you can change it up to image, video, quote. There's different stuff here. I've never actually played around with it, so I'm not sure what to tell you to do here. Categories, you can actually add categories from your blog post. So if you realize you're writing a blog post that's on a completely new category or topic you've never started before, you can click add new category here. So this one could be called, case study or introduction or whatever you want to call it. I could create a meal plan category if this was a meal plan article, and then you would just click add new category, and it would check mark. So now that anytime somebody clicks on any of these categories through your sidebar, they'll be taken strictly to all your blog posts related to this category. So it's a way of them filtering out all your blog posts down to a specific category so they can read information based on whatever they're searching for. Down here underneath your article, once you're done writing your article, you're going to find the Yoast SEO plugin that we downloaded earlier. This is where it hides down here. You're going to be able to see what it would look like in Google search results. So you can click edit snippet if you want to give it a better title here. It automatically takes your title that you put up top. So my blog post title, that's what it took and put down here. But you can go ahead and start typing in something new. So I could type in welcome to 90daynutrition.com or 90-day nutrition. We'll just leave that. So welcome to 90-day nutrition. That's what it would look like in Google's search. So for example, if you type in nutrition, you're going to see all the different websites that come up. So here it is. This is what the title would be. So you can see nutrition, medicine plus. So in our case, where it says nutrition, medicine plus, that's like the page title. That's what it would look like right here. So you can see the page title, and then you've got the link. So you can see that it'll show you your link here, and you can edit that once you've published your post. And then you've got the meta description. So out here, this is called the meta description right here. So you can customize it, because people that type in something into Google, so when you type in nutrition tips, Google's going to bring up the most relevant search results for this term nutrition tips. So the very first one, 10 nutrition tip education series. And then obviously as a searcher, you're going to read this little paragraph right here to decide if this website's worth clicking on. So right here it says eat nuts. Despite being high in fat, nuts are incredibly nutritious and healthy. They are loaded with magnesium, vitamin E, fiber. Eat this, not that. Asked a bunch of nutrition experts for their best advice. So these are little basically intro paragraphs people are going to read to decide if your link is worth clicking on. So that's important. So you want to have a good meta description here. So I don't know, welcome to the newest and most bad ass nutrition blog on the planet. Learn awesome So something like that. Welcome to the newest and most badass nutrition blog on the planet. Learn awesome tips to eating healthy. So obviously I'm not going to keep this. I'm going to change it up and make it better. But this is just an example, so that when somebody's on Google, they'll read that, and hopefully it'll make them interested in clicking my website over all my competitors in the search results. And that'll get me more traffic to my website. Once you've done that, you can type in a focus keyword. So my keyword might be nutrition. Whereas here, we typed in nutrition tips. So if you're trying to optimize an article for nutrition tips, you could type that in here, and it'll tell you how well your article's optimized for that term. But in this case, if I'm going to optimize it for the word nutrition, it'll tell you, your blog post only contains 22 words. You need at least 300 words. So whenever you write a blog post, you want it to typically be 600 words or more. They say you could get by with as little as 300, but I mean, who likes reading short blog posts? A 300-word blog post, that might only be like a couple paragraphs. That'd be really short. Most people, they want good information. Neil Patel, he recommends writing blog posts that are 2,000 words. So that would be like a mini guide that's, several paragraphs long. But if you were in like a Word document, it would be several pages. So it'd be like a little mini ebook, essentially. 2,000 words, it's a lot of words, but the longer you make your post, the more keywords you're going to rank for in Google, and the more information you're sharing with the reader, it's going to build more credibility, and you're going to, show that you know what you're talking about. It's hard to really talk about what you want to talk about in only 300 words. So that's what that one would be. The meta description, it'll say how many characters your meta description needs to be. So I need to make my description a little longer. I need to put some images in my post. So these are all the different rules it'll tell you. It'll analyze for you, and you'll fix. When you fixed it, it'll highlight it green so that it's done. So all these should be green, and then that's when you're ready to publish your blog post. So over here, we've got, as we already went through, you can choose the format. You can choose the category that you want your blog post published under. You can choose a tag, and then you can set a featured image. So you can go into your media library and pick an image, or you can upload an image here by selecting a file from your computer. and that's going to give your article a photo so that when people are scrolling through your blog, all your blog posts have a featured image that they'll see that will then, persuade them to click on your article. So in my case, this is what the featured image is. It's, this orange image or this red image, and I put some text over it so that it says blog post number 4, what is WordPress? So that's a featured image. Once you've added a featured image, you've optimized it for search engines, you've categorized it so that people can find specific posts related to specific topics, you've given it a title, you've customized the permalink, you're good to go at this point. So you can go ahead and publish immediately by hitting publish, or you can schedule your blog post. If you want to send it tomorrow, I could put July 21st, hit OK, and I can click schedule, and that'll schedule the blog post for me. So if I'm not ready to publish it yet, you can save it as a draft, or you could preview it. So that kind of wraps up the blog post section. And then finally, we'll make our way up here to these last two. Alright, and last but not least, we've got the dashboard up here at the top. This is basically just your overall view of your WordPress dashboard behind the scenes. So it's going to have all kinds of different stuff. They've got a little welcome section here so you can get started, writing your first post, adding an about page, view your site. It's got some little basic steps for people that might not know what they're doing, but I've already shown you all these things. Here we've got Jetpack. It's basically a plugin that I don't really use, but you might use it, so you can connect your Jetpack plugin. You can start writing a quick draft post here if you don't, want to write out a full out post. You just want to write some ideas or thoughts you have. And you got Pretty Link here. So a lot of your different plugins will show up here in your dashboard. So if, instead of having to scroll and find the plugin, some of them will just pop up here in your dashboard. And then it'll give you a summary of how many blog posts you've published, how many comments you have, how many web pages you have, what WordPress you're running. So right now I'm up to the latest version, which is 4.5.3. And then sometimes there'll be updates available, like 4.5.4 will come out. And usually it'll automatically update for you, but if not, you can update it yourself by just clicking update, and it'll manually do it for you. Activity, you can see recently published posts, recent comments. You can see security information here for Wordfence, Yoast SEO, broken link checker, detected 2 URLs, none are broken so far. So overall, your dashboard, in summary, it's just a summary page that you can quickly look at different things rather than have to go into each individual page. So that wraps up this in-depth tutorial on how to create your first website, whether it's going to be used as a blog or a corporate website or an e-commerce store. You can customize websites for a variety of different features and uses. I showed you today how to build your website in less than 1 hour. It's that simple. All you got to do is set up your website by following my step-by-step guide on asknickfoy.com, which is the Start an Online Business page right here, 20-step blueprint. So we already determined your passion. You decided how you're going to make money. You researched your website domain name. I showed you how to make it on namecheap.com. Then I showed you how to go to bluehost.com by clicking this link here, purchasing your hosting package. And then we downloaded and installed WordPress for our website. We went into the general settings first and configured those. Then we went to the users and the tools. I showed you those tabs. Then we went into plugins in step 7, and I downloaded a bunch of different plugins that you want starting out for your website. Then we went and selected a theme for your website under the appearance tab using themeforest.com, which you can click this link here. Or there's the Genesis theme framework, which is another good theme framework a lot of people use. And then after that, I showed you how to create web pages and a menu so that people can easily navigate your website, and you can highlight the most important pages in your menu that you want people to find and click, such as a home page, an about page, or a start here page. So after you've set up your website, the next steps will start, you want to start researching topics to write blog posts about. You want to set up your email service providers so you can start building an email list and sending emails out to traffic that you capture on your website so that you can keep people engaged with your website and with your content. If you don't have an email capture set up on your website, you're never going to be able to capture the traffic that's coming to it, and that's going to be tough then to sell to that traffic if you don't know who they are. So by capturing them to an email service such as ConvertKit, you can essentially market to an email list. So the goal is to build a website, drive traffic to it, capture emails, and then market to your email list and hopefully sell products or services. So you're going to want to, step 12, create an email newsletter series. That's basically the automated email newsletter that once they join your email list, they're sent a newsletter series of emails that you've already pre-written and pre-set up, and you've set the dates that they send out automatically based on when somebody subscribes. That way it's all hands off and automated. You'll want to create a free giveaway as an incentive to get somebody to opt into your email list. So that's where you can create like a free mini guide or a checklist or an ebook that you give away for free, and you say, hey, join my email list and I'm going to give you this ebook as your gift for joining my newsletter. And then you're going to want to build an opt-in form. So I told you a little bit about Opt-in Monster, the plugin you're going to want to download, and you're going to want to go to asknickfoy.com/optinmonster, or just simply click this link here and it's going to take you to Opt-in Monster so that you can create an account with them. And that's going to basically allow you to create cool looking forms. Step 15 will be to create a landing page. So you want to have a web page designed strictly to send traffic to get them to opt in to your email list. So this page is where you're going to pitch your free giveaway, and your email subscription opt-in form is going to be there. And basically you're going to tell them why they should join your email list and about how they get your free opt-in gift as a result of joining your email list. And then you're going to want to write blog posts and link to your landing page so that you can drive traffic to it, so that people that read your blog post, then they'll click the link, it'll take them to the landing page, they'll enter their information, join your email list. You can create a product launch promotion, can create a product and begin selling it on your website, and then you want to get testimonials and reviews so that you have credibility and proof that your product is good. Last, step 20, reinvest in your online business. Once you start getting money coming in, you can start upgrading to different softwares, different design. You can start trying out advertising, paid advertising to drive more traffic to your website. You want to reinvest the money that you're earning back into your business so that you can grow and get more people to your website and eventually grow your income. Overall, that concludes this long, in-depth tutorial. Thank you so much for sticking through it. I hope it was helpful, these 20 steps. It's going to take you some time setting up your website when you're first starting out, but as you saw, I was able to do it in less than 1 hour. And if you simply follow those steps and you use this guide to help you, you'll have no problem setting up your website, whether you have experience or no experience with websites. It's fairly easy to do. I didn't have any experience when I first started out, and I'm sure you likely don't have much experience either, and you're just starting out. So don't worry, it's simple. I just showed you everything that there is to know about setting up a website, and then from there you're going to have to learn and tweak things on your own time. But that was the basics, that was the big meat on the bone. So thanks for checking into this tutorial. Be sure to check out all of our other YouTube videos and tutorials. I'll walk you through some of those different plugins in their own separate tutorials, so you can see the different features of those plugins that I mentioned earlier that you want to start off with when you set up your website. Take care.